Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, beat you to it. Welcome back, lovely people. We hope that you are having a lovely morning, night, whenever you're hearing this, but just that you are happy and know that we love you. We're your host. I'm Jessica.
What up, boo-boos and Brittny Fontanez? I hope you guys are having a lovely, bubbly day.
And this week's topic is going to be an interesting one, so hang on for the ride. This week, we will be talking about unraveling spirituality and religion. It's an interesting topic, for sure.
Yeah, I came up with the topic. All my interesting ass topics I talk about, but I feel that they are needed. That's why I like to talk about things like this. But I feel the reason why I was led to want to talk about this is because, we grew up in a world that was always around religion, always believing in the Bible. And I'm not saying the Bible is wrong. I'm not saying religion is wrong. I respect all religions. I have friends who are Christians, and sometimes I go to their churches with them. But what I am saying is that we can't put our full belief in a system that has subliminals behind it, meaning that if you read the Bible, it's so hard to read it because it's not really meant to be read. It's meant to be understood subliminally. Like all those stories, it's like it's relatable to our lives, but it also teaches us how to become abundant, how to become wealthy, how to break out of our toxic patterns. But at the same time, I feel that religion restricts us from understanding our individuality. And I feel individuality is spirituality because it's like that saying, people who believe in religion fear hell, but people who believe in spirituality embrace hell. It's because I feel with spirituality, it gives advantage for people to discover their sovereignty and their connection with God on their own without thinking they need a temple or without thinking they need a pastor or other people's opinions to determine their belief system. So I feel unraveling these two will help you understand what you believe in, because all my life I grew up actually going to church. Like I had my mother, that type, like, you better wake up, we're going to church. Like, I know you're not sleeping, you're pretending and shit. But like, I grew up with that. And now that I've realized that after having my spiritual awakening, how even going through therapy, unlocking a lot of suppressed thoughts within my mind, I used to see apparitions, I used to see spirits all the time. So it's like I knew there was something more than just religion, and unraveling religion has helped me believe in a higher power, but actually tapping into spirituality has made me really merge with that higher power in my own way. So unraveling these two will help you guys to understand that we do have a creator that created us. Like, don't get me wrong, your parents did create you in the womb, but they didn't know how you were going to look. They didn't precisely sculpt the way your eyes are going to be shaped, the eye colors that you're going to have, how your body is going to be, how your personality is going to be. It's like that movie Soul. If you ever seen the movie Soul on Disney, where the little, it's so cute, where you got the little souls that go through the building to get their own individual personalities and to find their purpose. It's kind of like that. I feel spirituality is just like that. It's like there's so many things we don't understand about life that in order for us to try to understand in our own way, it requires us discovering ourselves. And I feel like religion doesn't allow us to discover ourselves. It allows us to only think that we know everything rather than actually understanding the creator that lives within each and every one of us. So unraveling what we're going to talk about, I hope it will help you guys or activate something within you to find something that you believe in, because I believe it's so important to have something to believe in. Like, go ahead, hon.
I'm sorry, I just need to get it out. So like,
Do it.
for me, the way that I see it, and maybe it may be helpful for you guys to understand a little more. The way I see religion and spirituality is, I see religion as looking at a higher power through an organized vessel within a community, right? Because there's not just one. The way I see spirituality is doing the exact same thing, but as an individual. So you're not going off a book. I'm sorry. The Bible is a scripture. I understand that's been passed down, but you're not depending your life and your actions on that one scripture that has many loopholes, just like our constitution, don't get me started. um you are focusing on what works for you, what you believe in, what's best for you, how you feel, your interactions, what life has, where life has led you. And I just think that that's how I differentiate the two, because like sticking to one religion is, I'm not saying it's bad. I respect whatever you believe in, whatever you want, but I just know that, just like Brittany, when I was small, I was, had to, I grew up in a Catholic church, and I had to go to church every Sunday and do school and, wear the nice dresses and go and,
Hmm.
all the fun stuff. And then there was a point where I was like, there's one thing for a church to need to take donations because, they need to keep the church running. And obviously, the pastor, that's a job. But then when you are in line waiting for the collector, you're the collector and you're like judging people who are not putting envelopes into the basket, that's a problem. That's where
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, now, so now there's a money problem. Or like, oh, you missed last Sunday, like judging you like people don't have lives, like accidents don't happen. That's when I began to be like, yeah, this isn't for me. And I was old enough to be like, that's not okay. That's, and
Yeah.
as someone who's about to be a new mom, I want my child to believe that there is a higher power, because I believe that there is a higher power, and there is. But I don't want my child to feel forced to practice something
Yeah.
that they don't even come into this world knowing about. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And
Facts.
so I just needed to get that out. It may make people upset. We all have our opinions. So I ask that you just respect my opinion. If you have your own, that's perfectly fine. I think we all are allowed to think the way we think, and we should all be open into understanding, because I'm not saying religion is horrible. I'm just saying that that's not what works for me. I identify more as a spiritual person, but just because I say that I'm spiritual doesn't mean that I don't believe in God, because that is my higher power. If and it may not be somebody else's higher power, but I just think
Hmm.
that it's really important to like be vocal about it, because no one needs to be judged because they're not believing in the higher
Facts.
power that you believe in. We're all different
Facts.
for a reason, and at the end of the day, if that same person gets us to the same place where we as individuals need to be, then so be it.
Yeah. And I think it's good that everyone has their own belief system, but it's not good when you think your belief system is more powerful than
Oh,
someone else's.
don't get me started.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I've been to a lot of churches all my life, and there are a few that I loved. The music, the people, and everything. And having your own belief system and your own community is beautiful. But I feel that unraveling spirituality can intertwine with religion, because if you think about it, not only you're creating your own belief system, but it's more like you're not looking at the belief system of religion like structured, like how everyone else sees it. With
Mhm.
spirituality, you're looking at other belief systems and religion structures as a source to learn from, to find your own identification. So it's like unraveling the two can help you understand the structures of how the world was built upon, but also learning through spirituality your own structure of the world you want to build within this world as an individual. So unraveling the two will help you discover yourself and help you discover a power that we don't see, a power that we don't have the capability to see, but we could sense it, we could feel it, we could know it. Everyone has their own connection to the divine. And that's why I always say in all my YouTube videos is that we all are divine. We all
Mhm.
have a calling, but we all have a purpose, but very few are willing to listen to that call. And I believe the reason why people don't listen to that call is because they think they have to be religious. They think they have to have one structure to believe in. But with spirituality, it actually is the reverse. What it does, it allows you to see that you can believe in something, and realizing that that is your path, and the divine is probably moving you to carve out your own path. Like, don't get me wrong, there's like, I've seen a few videos of pastors where they look demented. Like, one, there's a lot of pastors who are millionaires, which is crazy, but it's not crazy. I mean, we all deserve that abundance and what we do best and what we are passionate about. But there are pastors that you can tell, you can see their energy that they are demented. Like, there was one, I think he was the richest pastor in the world like 2, 3 years ago. When I looked at, he looked like a fucking vampire, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He looked like a vampire. But here's the thing: there are people who are spiritual and abuse their power too.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
this is why it's very important to unravel the two, so you can find your own understanding of what your heart believes in, what your heart is seeking. Because
Exactly.
if you just fall into um, a prey of like, oh, church saying, oh, you can only find God through me, or through a spiritual person or a guru who says only I have the pathway and the gateway for you to get to the higher
Exactly.
power. No. When you can unravel the two and absorb and learn from the two, you can understand what you want to believe in and what fits right for you. Because at the end of the day, this is your life. I know
Mm-hmm.
we grew up and our parents tell us what to believe in, what to do, what kind of job to get, how to dress, how to act, how to talk. And sometimes when we grow up, we have to reparent ourselves because we didn't get a chance to be that child to discover themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
when we grow up, we have to discover ourselves. And the way to discover ourselves is to discover, what do we believe in? What makes me have faith? What makes me have hope? What makes me trust? What makes me believe in myself? That's when it's important to unravel what the belief systems we were fed in order to dismantle them and recreate a new belief system and what we want to believe in from what we learned from both of these two.
That's wow. Yeah, that is a fact. It's just like it just how do I explain it? At the end of the day, we're all learning what's best for us and what's not. And for some people, you need that structure and you need that organization because not even, I don't even want to give examples, but just for it to make sense, if you lived an insane life or you committed murder or whatever the case may be, where you did something horrible that society deems to be like the end of the world, and you found love and you found structure through reading the Bible. So when you get out of prison, you find a church that fits you and you've met this community and you are just gun ho about life, then go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
push that passion, because what we're not saying is pick one, right? What we're saying is
Yeah.
understand both, because I think that there's this big issue in life where, like, oh, you're Catholic, like, oh, you're Christian, oh, you're spiritual. What the fuck is that? Like, all this judgment, all this, oh, we're better than
Mm-hmm.
you are. No church is
Yeah.
better than no other church, whether one is poor, one is rich. No spiritual person is better than the other, whether that one has specific callings and the other one has the opposite. It's all about what works best for you, but it's also, ooh, I'm sorry, I got scared by a wasp. Um
Outside? Is it inside?
uh, it definitely wasn't a
Oh,
wasp. It was a one of those little annoying
I'm
fruit.
off.
Yeah, a fruit fly.
Ah.
And like I was saying, it's all about being open-minded and accepting about the other that you may not know about. It's about learning a little
Mm-hmm.
bit about what you don't per se agree with. It's about accepting that not everyone's going to be like you, but also understanding within yourself, right? Because so I don't have a problem with having a religion you follow, and I don't have a problem with you being spiritual and just doing your own thing. Where I have a problem, and that's where society comes into, and what, America and suppression and let's not even go there, right? When control happens through government, um, there's corruption, there's
Yeah.
abuse. You know how many pastors are in the news that they molest and abuse kids, sorry.
Yeah.
You know how many religions require you to give 10% of your job salary? You
Mm-hmm.
know how many religions are cults? You know how
Facts.
many spiritual people prey on people's souls for
Or
energy?
even like, or like sexual shit, like tantra and all
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. You know how many spiritual people are dark energies that are here to prey on people. You know
Mm-hmm.
how many spiritual people love to do voodoo, create spells, and cast different things. So it's like I can sit here and give you the pros and cons of each, right? I can sit here and tell you, yeah, I'm gung ho about being spiritual. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not here to be like, oh, this is better. Oh, I like this one better. But it's just about, like, we named it unraveling. Well, Brittany named it unraveling both because it's important to understand both. Because today you
Mm-hmm.
may be a part of a community that you love, and tomorrow you're questioning it. And what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is, it's not, it doesn't make you a bad person for being like, you know what? Like, I believe in a higher power, but I don't think that this setting is for me because, believe it or not, some settings are toxic.
That's
And
true.
whether you are in a community that believes in the same thing as you or forces you to believe in the same thing, that may not be the most healthy for you. And so we like to talk about these topics because it's very important to try and understand them and want to understand them so that when you're put in a situation where you're like, okay, open your eyes a little bit. That's all we're
Yeah.
saying. Because life right
Mm-hmm.
now is disorganized and we don't need more chaos in this world. Because
It's
confusion causes
true.
problems, and that's a root of a lot of things.
I love how you said that because I have a saying that confusion is the enemy and clarity is God.
Mm-hmm.
Stillness is where you find God and chaos is where you find the enemy, honestly. And I like that you bring that up because it's true. It's like we're not telling you what to believe and we're telling you to try to understand what resonates with you and doesn't resonate with you, but respect it. Because at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, we got to look at religion and spirituality. You can find information in the Bible, you can find information on the internet, but look at it as the internet. You can't believe everything that's on the internet. So you can't believe
Exactly.
everything that's in the Bible, and you can't believe everything that a spiritual guru or spiritual people talk about. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important to have an open mind and unravel these two because not only you find a way to carve out your own path, but when you're open minded and you learn other people's perspective, you actually learn a little bit about yourself too. Like
Mm-hmm.
for me, for instance, there are people I'm friends with that are religious and I'm not, but I respect their beliefs even if I don't resonate with them. But I learn a lot from them. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I do take those considerations in of their opinions and they help me formulate a new way of believing in my own belief system. Same thing with spirituality. There's some people that don't believe in about like twin flames or you're on a
Mm-hmm.
twin flame journey or the divine masculine or divine feminine, stuff like that, you know? I don't agree with those things, but I see why they're here, but I still learn from them, you know? So it's like at the end of the day, you can't believe everything you see on TV or believe on the internet. So don't believe everything that's fed to you through religion or through spirituality, because at the end of the day, spirituality to me is not about absorbing what is opposite from religion. It's
Mm-hmm.
really about absorbing what's resonating with your soul and formulating what fits best to create a foundation that's going to create a stable belief system that you can go on and feel passionate about and live your life in the unique way that expresses who you truly are. So at the end of the day, learn from both, unravel both, get curious about both, because they do. I'm here to tell you, religion and spirituality are kind of the same. They are kind of the same.
Exactly
You
what
know,
I said.
we believe in a higher power. It may not be the same as Indians, it may be not be the same as Muslims, it may not be the same for Christians or Catholics, it may not be the same for a spiritual person, but we all believe in a higher power. We all believe something serves us, something created us, something's here
Mm-hmm.
for us, something is testing us. We all believe in that. But unraveling these two will help you discover what is best for you. Because since this world is full of chaos, it's because everyone's trying to control everyone. It's because they don't have control over how they think and what they believe in. But when
Mm-hmm.
we can allow ourselves to carve out our own path and unravel these two things and find what fits best for us, we can create stability. We can create clarity. And sometimes most people who do this end up creating a new way of believing for people in this world. Like you got Tony Robbins, the huge self development person. When he wasn't around, no one really believed in self development. Then, boom, he created self-development. You know, you have certain people who do inner child healing like I do. No one ever knew about that, but boom, people are starting to get into it because they feel like it resonates with them. There's little things that intertwine, that all, like, everything that exists right now is existing at the same time. So that means they all connect in some way, but you got to find your uniqueness and what you connect with within unraveling spirituality and religion. So it's all about just being open minded and learning, because we can't just believe based off what we read or based off what a pastor says. We can only learn from what our soul is being moved by. So I share this with you guys because I want you to find what you believe in, because if you believe in something that's helped, like religion and spirituality has helped you gain something to believe in your own unique way, then nothing can deteriorate your spirit. Nothing can hurt you, nothing can manipulate you. There will be no chaos in your life if you find what fits best for you. And I could tell you, like, I'm so content and peace at my life right now, regardless if I'm not like my parents, regardless if I'm not like my family, regardless if I don't believe in what other people believe in, because at the end of the day, I found what is right for my heart and my being because of what I've learned through
Righty, folks. Well,
spirituality
this is
and through
awkward.
religion.
Sorry for the weird
Exactly.
intermission.
And if you're doing this,
service just wasn't giving. And that's all we got for you. So we are going to continue what we were talking about and pick up where
Facts.
we left off. So sorry, but we're back. Hi.
What up, boo boos?
Alrighty. So, the last thing that I was talking about was just saying kind of like that no one or anything or anyone should force you to believe in anything, should force you to go to any church, should force you to practice any religion, read any book, be spiritual, whatever the case may be for you. No one should be forcing you to do that. And it's really important to want it. If you want to learn about something, that's fine. If you want to explore something, that's fine. But it does have to come from you, because it's not, one, genuine, and two, no one should be telling you what to do in terms of what to believe in, what to practice, and who to be. Because at the end of the day, that's a part of your life. You're never going to, be at the stage where you are now or be at the stage where you were at. You keep growing and elevating, and so your mindset should as well.
Facts. Facts. So I wanted to add one last thing. Knowing that we're sharing all this with you guys so you can find your own belief system, everything is intertwined and it is one. It's just expressing itself in such a different way. Hence, religion or any deity or spirituality, they all are just worshiping one creator. But the one thing I feel is really legit is that in the Bible it says, in order to find the connection with divine in your own way is through Jesus, people say. And I want to bring this up because I recently learned this, which I found very profound, was that a lot of people, I feel, don't want to believe in religion or even God at that, or creator, is because they believe they have to be so biblical or be under a certain gesture of how they should believe. But the reason why I'm bringing this up about Jesus is because it's not that we have to believe in religion to connect with divine. It's a matter of that we have to reach a higher consciousness the way Jesus did. So it's like Christ consciousness. It's not a person that we should worship. Because if we really understand this, if we were as humble as Jesus, we wouldn't want people to worship us. We would just want people to learn from us, to reach our divinity and to reach our truth. So I believe spirituality and learning different ways of creating your belief system can help you reach that Christ consciousness, which levels you up to your own ascension to find the connection with divine or creator or whatever deity or God you believe in. So just know that they're all the same but different in their own ways, and they're all helping you to reach that Christ consciousness, to be able to understand your connection and why divine created you, and allowing you to seed how divine sees you. So that's really the last thing I wanted to share that I found very, very profound. And I don't believe in everything the Bible says, but some things. I don't believe everything that other belief systems say, just some things. But it helps me recognize that if I could reach this level of consciousness and finding my own sovereignty, then I am the temple to be able to have God live within me. So that's all I wanted to share on my end to finish it.
That was nice. I like that. I definitely agree. I feel like at the end of the day, what's the most important is to be your highest self, because once you're at your highest self, then you're tapping into something else that many people who may not be there will not experience. You know what I'm saying? And,
Mm-hmm.
and that's always important. But I also did want to say, like we said, this is our podcast, right? I don't need anyone rolling up in here talking shit, telling us what to talk about, what not to talk about, that they didn't like it. That I mean, hey, at the end of the day, everyone has their own opinions, and that's fine, and I respect that. But at the same time, so do we. And I know that some people may hear this and be like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" But I'd just like to remind you all that at the end of the day, it's our podcast. We wanted to talk about this. People are gonna resonate with it. People are not gonna resonate with it. We're okay with that, but we just want to lay it out there. This is a safe, positive space. We're not bashing any religion. We're not bashing any individuals. That's not, what we're here to do. But there's just things that need to be explored and need to be said. And we like to shine light on things that pop up in our head, or things that we hear about, or topics that people want to talk about. So I just wanted to put that out
Exactly.
there, because this is a topic that really can make some people mad, you know? And if
But
you
it
know who you
really,
are,
yeah. I mean, if you're getting triggered, we're doing our job. But
exactly.
at the end of the day, I feel the reason why we got to talk about this is because we are not alone on our journey. There is a creator that created you beyond your parents, because your parents didn't decide how you were going to look or how you're going to be. So connecting back to that creator will help you feel more sense of ease and belief within yourself, because we're meant to believe in ourselves, but we only could do that by understanding why our creator created us and what is it that we need to learn about ourselves to explore our potential and our truth. So I know it is a triggering topic, but we're in a day and age where we have to talk about things like this so people could find their power and people could find their truth, but also feel safe in who they are and not be shamed by that because of people's belief systems and religion and all of that. So if you're triggered, good. That means you got something to be aware of. If you resonated with this, I'm grateful, because now you're going to realize that you don't need to believe in one thing. You could intertwine all these things and find what fits your soul so you can recognize the magic within yourself and the magic of life. So that's all I want
Yeah.
to say.
I think it's very forfeiting, especially all the drama right now, focusing on one religion, which is Mormons. There's a lot of light that's being shined on that one religion. Hey, I'm not gonna get into that, but I'm just saying, um, different practices and different ways of living life are sometimes not okay and not safe. And at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, they're going to be brought to life, and people will believe it when they want to believe it. And I think that that's majority of what's happening now with that specific religion. And with that, I just want to say, believe what you want to believe, practice what you want to practice, but do it because you want to and because you're curious, not
Exactly.
because somebody else told you, or not because you grew up into that. At the end of the day, you still have a right to say no to things, to do things differently at your cost and at your safety. So that's just where I
Exactly.
wanted to end with that.
All right. Love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and it brought you some assistance. So just know there's only love for you here.
And like Brittany says, one love.
Well, it's only love, not one love.
Oh
Well,
shit. Well, only love. I don't know anymore. She confused
it's
me.
okay.
Only love
It's
and
okay.
one love.
See you in the next one, guys.